let's move on to theater 2, where we have House
Oh, one
Party,
quick thing.
1990.
Apparently,
Okay.
one quick thing I did forget. Apparently, the kitchen scene where Karen Sutherland and Donald Sutherland and Karen Allen, Karen Allen was asked to show her butt, but she didn't want to. But Donald Sutherland's like, I'll do it if you'll do it. So she's like, well, if Donald Sutherland's gonna show his butt, then I'll show my butt. So I wasn't expecting to see Donald Sutherland's ass in that movie, but there it was. So last
What a good
morsel.
character. Nova Scotia's own.
I know.
Real gentleman here. All right, well, let's move on to theater 2. House Party, 1999, starring Christopher Kid Reed, Christopher Play Martin, Tisha Campbell, and Martin Lawrence. Directed by Reginald Hudlin, who wrote a Black Panther run for a while, done lots of things. That
A
Reggie.
lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
Excellent representation of Chris's in this film. I love it.
Lots of Chris's.
And one.
If my pops finds out I got in trouble in school today, I'm definitely going to be on punishment. There's a party tonight at Peter's house. Can I go?
You're not going nowhere. Every little step you take will be around this bedroom tonight.
Did you hear anything about a party tonight? At least not any good ones.
Hello, Tawatha. Do I feel like being bothered with Tawatha? Hello, LaDonna.
It's booming, it's booming. It's booming.
Yo, baby, you looking real good.
Step off.
Scandalous. Kick it, Pops.
What you got to say now, punk?
How much more trouble can I get into?
Hey, Eraserhead.
Look, I'm in prison.
Just do me a favor. Don't pick up the soap.
Wait till I find him. I'm gonna kill him.
Yo, y'all, look who fell into the gig.
Hey, this ain't Soul Train.
The two finest women in here. Now, how could a man choose?
He better choose right.
Okay, so where we're on our way to? The house party. What? The house party. Jay ain't going to that damn party. That's all to it. I don't give a damn what you say.
Gonna make me a social misfit.
What was that end bit?
Sorry, I meant to keep that out. So yeah, Chris needs to eat his breakfast. That's before he goes out. I think that was the joke I was going to say, and then I got thrown off by that ending. Curses.
Okay, so I liked Animal House when I was younger, and I was hoping it was going to hold up a little better than it did. But this movie I loved as a kid. When I was a kid, I loved Kid and Play, House Party 2, Class Act, all of their movies, man. I was a big fan. So I was really rooting for this movie, and honestly, I don't think I was disappointed. I still love this movie, so I'll get into the plot here and we can talk about it. I always spoil my holdups before we get started, it seems, but it's just my style, I guess.
I did cut out the scene where honestly, like, the plot set up almost in the kitchen, or not the kitchen, but the cafeteria, where they have the conversation after he gets to the school there.
So yeah, it starts in the cafeteria, and they're checking out the ladies and stuff, and Play announces that he's having a party over at his place because his parents are out, and he wants his buddy Bilal to be the DJ, played by Martin Lawrence. And Kid gets into an altercation with the bully, Stab, his name is, and his two brothers, Pee Wee and Zilla. Pee Wee's the worst character in this whole movie. I love all the characters in this movie except for Pee Wee. He's super annoying.
Really sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. No, don't get up. Don't get up. I'll get you another milk, okay? I'll pay for it myself, okay? You need a milk? I can get you one. I'll be right back.
If I was you, I'd kick his fucking ass.
I don't like
I'd
Pee Wee,
kick
man.
his fucking ass.
He's weird. I know he's just supposed
He's
to be a weird, jokey character, but
yeah.
he uh, with his Stab and Zilla, those are good names. I figure like Pee Wee because this is a party movie that it's just that's like playing off of Porky's because there was that character Pee Wee in Porky's, which I almost picked instead of Animal House, but I like Porky's is worse. So if Animal House didn't hold up, Porky's sure as hell did. Um,
I barely remember
so
Porky's, and yeah,
be glad.
that was the B movie Animal House.
So kid comes home and he's trying to convince his old man Pop, he calls him, who's maybe my favorite character in this. We'll talk about that later, but Pop's pretty great. I'll have to think about it
Played
actually.
by
There's a lot of
the
good characters in it.
legendary Robin Harris.
Yeah, Robin Harris. Yeah, he's in a lot of things. Because kid knows there's eventually a note coming home to say he got in this fight at school. So
Yeah, he's looking for that
he's
pink
but
slip.
and eventually it does show up. So he says he can't go to the party, so he has to sneak out later because his old man's watching Dolomite. He's like, "What? You don't want to watch Dolomite with me?
You
You
wanna
grew
watch
up on Dolomite."
I loved how he quoted Dolomite. I was just like, yes.
Yeah, he's always muttering under his breath as he's walking away too. It's like, "God damn," like he gets in an altercation with the cops later. Pop does, and that's freaking hilarious.
Apparently, all of his lines and John Witherspoon's lines were improvised for this movie. Like the majority of them,
I
apparently.
believe it. Just sounds like John Witherspoon. So
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it. You gotta have John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's on his way to the party, and he runs into Stab and his brothers again. So he's trying to get away, and he ends up peeping on this guy having sex with his lady, and then that buddy notices and grabs it. I remember that scene from a kid so much that that scene never escaped my mind because he just shoots at them like instantly. He's just like peep
Yeah.
freaks, like
You freaks want to keep
uh,
peeping on me. Peep this.
yeah. So eventually he gets there and no, he goes to that reunion. Like what is it? It's like
Oh
an older
yeah.
people's party or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No, with
he's
DJ.
I'm crazy now. You want to see how crazy I am?
Yo, what you looking at, man? I ain't the man in the mirror. Yo, man, Dingo, leave the brother alone. Sucker, you want a little pie in your head? Lighten up. Yeah, I did it. I cried 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. Let's take it to the stage.
played by George Clinton, the
I
legendary
know,
George
right?
Clinton, in the
I
Parliament
saw George
Funkadelic
Clinton's
Man.
and I'm like, where's he gonna show up? And of course, he's just like as
Yeah,
DJ
man.
blowing dust off of records.
Yeah, man. So he ends up at that party and he does a bit of rap in there. See, there's awesome. Okay, the music is done by Marcus Miller, and Marcus Miller is easily my favorite bass player. I think the greatest bass player of all time. Listen to as much Marcus Miller as you can out there, people. Marcus Miller, look it up, man. So the music is so good in this. See, this is what a party movie is to me, and is what like Animal House was trying to be, and I guess probably was in its day, which is a movie that you can put on during a party. But Animal House fails at that, I find. Whereas this one is absolutely that because there's like awesome Marcus Miller background music through the whole thing. There's Kid and Play doing actual performances and raps because they're actual musicians. They do that sort of thing. And dance scenes and like, fun one-liners. Like you could be at a party and just look up every now and then and enjoy what you're watching. This is the this is a party movie. This is what party movies should be. Um, so there they are there, yeah. They're about to do a rap. I used to love, man, I loved these guys when I was a kid, and I think I still do. So, but back to the plot. So kid gets to the party eventually, and there's a dance. He gets into a dance contest to try to impress Sydney and Shireen, who like. There's a bit of a see. That's an interesting thing too. The stereotypical thing would have been for like Kid and Play to be after the same girl, but that's not what's going on here. It's
Yeah,
two girls that are after the same guy, which is they're both kind of
yeah.
interested in Kid. So
I liked how they did that.
they didn't fall into any of the cliches of these types of movies. I found this was smart, smartly done for a movie that's just a party movie. The plot's not any great thing or anything. It's just about the style and how you construct a nice party movie with likable characters and funny dialogue and good music. That's what you need. Um, so yeah, they get to the dance contest, which was awesome. I love that dance contest. That was fun. Yeah, but Kid's father's out looking for him because he knows he snuck off. So he's looking. He eventually shows up at the party and he wants to know where Kid is, uh, but he doesn't find him. So he's gonna wait for him at home, and he ends up running into the cops, which is funny. He's just like, "Where am I going?"
Yeah,
or
'cause
something like that, and he's just like 32, uh, 30 fresh up a cop's ass or something like that. He's just like, "Oh, friggin'."
well, the cops run it. So, like, before Kid even gets to the party, he gets pulled over
Yeah,
by
the
these
cops are there
douchebag
because of John
cops.
Witherspoon. John Witherspoon didn't like
Yeah,
the noise.
yeah. They ended up running into his dad before his dad got to the party. And then yeah, his dad was looking for him. I think Kid at that point was taking Shireen and Sydney home. He was walking them,
Yeah, he was walking them home.
yeah, back to
Well, that's
Shireen's
after the party.
place.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess
Well,
that's what we're at.
it's
Yeah,
sort of after. I
yeah,
feel like it's more or less during because
yeah.
that's when his dad showed up looking for them because he grilled. No, wait, she was upstairs. Chris was upstairs with Shireen. Sydney was on the steps. His dad came in and he got grilled by Sydney, and then she was like, "Nah, there's nothing here. You can go about your way."
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he's like smooching with Shireen, and Sydney's just like, "What?" Because they were talking, and Sydney thought that Shireen was going to back off and let her go after Kid, and that didn't really happen. So they're at odds a little bit, but they're still friends. They don't really get into it in any like catty bullshit or anything. Like again, they avoid all the stereotypical bullshit.
Yeah,
Um,
they get in that kitchen scene. Shireen's just sort of like, "Listen, I didn't really make a move, so if you want to make your move, make your move." And then the legendary cameo of Letty C. Washington coming in, just kind of giving her the eye. I don't know if anyone recognizes this guy, but he's the cameraman in UHF.
I don't really know that movie.
Have you not seen UHF?
No.
Ah, can can
I'll
that be a
find
movie we watch during the television category?
I'd have to pick it in the television category. Yeah, maybe. I'll see what I picked for that.
Yeah, because that
We'll,
if you've
we'll
never
see.
seen
Haven't seen
UHF,
it.
I implore it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You have to admit, Southland Tales was terrible.
Okay, for UHF, I'll admit Southland Tales is terrible. It's
Sweet.
an easy
I'm
toss
dropping it
up.
down to a C movie. I'm dropping Southland Tales down. Get away. Get away from my gremlins, Southland Tales. Uh, So, there's not a lot of plot here. There's the will they, won't they. He ends up smooching with Shireen a bit, but there's a bit of back and forth there, and he realizes that he likes Sydney better. Because there's a nice line there too. He's just like she asks him straight up, like, "Who do you want to be with?" Whatever. He's like, "Well, if I got to make a choice," which he's kind of disappointed about. He's just like,
It's like if I had to kiss anywhere, if I had to die before I kissed you, like fucking Aang says to just like
you
completely put
know,
your foot in your mouth, my guy. Like she's trying to give you
he's just like,
signs and you're not picking it up.
"You're the one I see myself being friends with." And she's just like, "Oh," but he's just like, "And I think you got to get down with someone you're friends with too." And she's just like, "Oh." So he's a lyricist.
It
That
was it
toy's
was a
going
good
off again.
line. It
I
was a good
really turn
line
that
though,
off.
And yeah,
Oh
and then they
God.
want to get down to the nookie where he can stake that cookie, but he doesn't have
Oh
a
my.
rubber for said
That's
cookie
true.
because it's
That's
dust.
true.
and that's when the like,
Everyone's giving him shit. They're like, "What? Why did you let that stop you?" And he like there's a bit of
yeah,
a
I
but,
I
he
loved
stands
this
up to that
moment.
idea, and he's the star. Where they're just like he's just like, "I don't wanna have a kid right now." He's just like, "That's her problem. You just gotta pay the bills." And he's
Yeah,
just like,
plays such
"Well,
an
that's not
asshole in
how
this
I do
film.
things." Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Play usually
I'm,
plays the bad guy in all their movies. In one movie, they're not even they don't even know each other, and they're like, one's a b Play is the bad guy, and Kid's the good guy. So that's just how
cool.
they do it.
Well, then he's doing his job well. But yeah, no, like I really liked that message in the film. It like at the heart, this is a very wholesome movie.
It is, and it's a party movie, like, that's it this is a good movie, man. It manages to be a party movie, but not be offensively misogynistic or any actually misogynistic really at all, other than, the young teenagers, they have sort of that attitude where all they're focusing on is getting laid, but that's just honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not them peeping in they don't peep in window well, they did peep in a window, but it was an accident. It wasn't John Belushi climbing up a ladder. It
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they
It was like,
stared.
"I'm
They
getting
stared an
away,
extra
oh
few
god."
seconds, mind you. But I think they were more just, interested in Buddy's dialogue as he was having sex with this lady because he was hip.
I'm not gonna lie, like, when he's, like, leaning out the window and he's pointing the gun, he might have been a big man, but he was a good-looking big man. Like, and he was, like, the
Oh,
sweat
he
was
was fit.
glistening off him. He like, he
Yep,
the his muscles were ripped,
yeah.
but he
He
still
had
had that
muscles.
weight on him. He was he was
Yep,
he was a thick boy. You know, it's thick
yep.
boy summer, I believe, so, like, I mean, if
Is
your
it
ladies are looking for a thick boy, check out the man getting a swerve on in the house party scene.
you're gonna find one in this basement. No one's ever gonna call me a thick boy. Alright.
Yeah.
So back to the plot, I guess. We're pretty much getting to the end of it. Kid ends up in jail.
Yeah, surprisingly.
So, yeah. So they have to get him out of jail, and they
Yeah,
do.
he's,
They tell him not
he
to pick up the soap.
yeah,
And oh god.
Bilal and Play eventually gather
Yeah.
Shireen
Shireen and Sydney
and Sydney, and while they're
pay
doing that,
cash.
Kid, is rapping his ass off in the prison to keep his booty from being,
It's true. They're
uh
all gonna attack him. He's just like, "Wait a minute, let me entertain you for a minute." And that's kind of the last full musical scene where they're like the characters are actually doing the music in in world. So
mm,
it's like this one's actually like a bit of a musical as well, rather than just have the music, which was quite good at times in Animal House. It's still part of the background, even when Otis Day is playing. The scene is just going on around him, and
yeah,
music's
yeah.
the focus of the scenes in this. So that's pretty much the end. They get Kid out of jail. I think his old man tells him off.
Well,
Give him
yeah.
more
So what
time.
happens is they get Kid out of jail. They drive everyone home. Shireen and Play walk in. Shireen does her like, "Not today, Mister. Maybe another day. You got to work for it." And Play's like, "What do you mean?" So he gets basically boomeranged, which which was Reginald's Hudlin's last theatrical film before he went on to a TV career.
Eddie Murphy's
Uh,
Boomerang.
Eddie Murphy's Boomerang, which is about a womanizing man that eventually gets his comeuppance when a womanizing or a manonizing woman. Uh,
Manonizing woman, yes, that's
yeah,
the term.
she comes along and shows him what's up. So there's a little hint to that between Play and Shireen, and yeah, Sydney and Chris
Mm.
say their goodbyes in front of Bilal and Play, and those guys are like, "Wait now." Then they're driving home. That's when they sort of have the talk. Did you get some? I can tell you got some. You must have got some. And he's like, "Nah, we're gonna wait it out. I'm, being cool." And that was the important message of this film is like, you know, just because you're gonna get some doesn't mean you just go for it unless the elements and everything involved are not, perfectly
Yeah,
correct.
Sydney says to him, she's
Have
just
your
like, "There'll be
protection.
other times." He's just like, "Yeah, but it'll probably be a long time from now."
Yeah, because he knows he's gonna go home and get grounded and get his ass whooped, and just as
And
he's,
whooped, and he
he
does
gets
get whooped. The credits start to roll while he's getting whooped by Pops at home.
yep,
Whooped.
and
Is the belt
I
ready?
don't.
The belt is
Did you
ready.
do you end the movie basically there? Have you always ended the movie there, or did you keep watching through the credits?
Is there an end scene? I'm
There
sure there's
is
an
an
end
end
scene.
credit scene here.
I don't think
It's
I
this one
watched it
actually.
today.
I didn't mean it. I didn't know they're the rest of the cookies. I'm sorry.
Look, my grandma's 87 years old. I don't know how many years she's got left to make cookies
Okay.
in the first place. You didn't have to finish the rest of them.
I'm
I don't know how
sorry.
many years I've got left in my grandmother.
They were good though.
They were good though.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's how the movie ends, and it just goes on to the rest of the credits.
yeah. Forgot about that. Didn't watch that this time.
Yeah, I
Yikes.
didn't know that was in there. I was just like, wait, there's a post-credit scene? What is this? The MCU?
Well, all right. So, which scene would you hold up, Murphy?
Oh
Or
man,
scenes?
without
Scene or
a
scenes?
doubt. Definitely.
Yo, kid, man. Yo, do that dance stuff you was doing out there on the dance floor. I've been trying to get that all night, man. No, I really don't feel like it. Yo, come on, man. No, I'm really not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. All right, then
I
don't do it.
I
then.
love
I'm
how he
going
sets
home.
us up and plays
Wait a
into
minute,
it.
wait a minute. Don't give up so easy. I'll teach you. I know
Don't
you
give up
wouldn't
so
go out
easy.
on me like that. I'll teach you. Yo, come on, man. Now, this is very complicated.
What are you doing? This ain't aerobics.
Doing aerobics.
You can't do it.
Is that a job? I
do
think it is.
And
You
then
better
him
come
and
on out
Groove
here.
just like bust into it.
Hey, look, you drunk? Should we do this? Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, this is a great scene, man. Like, if you were just at a party, and you looked up and this started, you'd watch the entire thing.
Yeah, like that scene was so like that's when the party really kicks off and it goes off and you're like, okay, I see what this is about. That and the rap battle. The rap battle is like hands down. I wanted to
Yeah.
cut a scene from that, but I feel
Yeah.
like that would maybe potentially cause too many issues or whatever. But ultimately, like I'm telling you,
It's a
that
great
rap
scene.
battle was so good. The way he ends it, how he's like play got
Mhm.
played, and like everyone's like freaking out. Like it was such a fun scene. And you can tell like that's kind of like, like I guess the whole base is these guys want to show off their talents as rappers and musicians, and like I'm all for it. So yeah, like got played out, like that was the whole thing honestly kind of gave me 8 Mile vibes. Like it made me kind of want to like go back and watch 8 Mile. I know you probably have never
Mile.
watched that Eminem,
Oh,
the
the
Eminem
Eminem
film.
one.
Yeah, where he goes and he like rap battles. It's a really good film. Like take out the fact that like this is Eminem, and it's
Make it your pick. I got nothing against Eminem.
you know what, if we do a rap category, then I would probably pick 8 Mile, but I can't remember
Well, we're
if it's
doing a
post
music
2000.
category. You can throw it in there.
No, I
Yeah.
picked something for that category that I really
Yeah.
want to watch called
Yeah.
Ungaku. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
fair
wild.
enough. So
Um,
actually, I agree with you. Those are the scenes I would hold up as well. And there's a lot
yeah.
of good scenes in this, but those were my favorite. And the ones with Pops. And Pops and the cops. You don't happen to have that, eh? When he's talking to the cops,
Oh,
it's friggin'
yeah.
hilarious.
I don't have that scene. I should have cut that up.
That's all right. That was a great one.
Yeah,
So
that was a good
let's move
one.
on to
Reason to
performances.
watch this movie if you haven't. Performances were good.
Martin Lawrence
Actually,
is amazing in this. Martin Lawrence is friggin' hilarious. There you go.
his room is hilarious. The slippery when
Yeah,
wet
man.
wall, like, and
Oh my
his
God.
you could tell he was putting it us all into it. Him being called like Dragon
Yeah.
Breath, he's like, yo, chill, stop hitting the table, stop bumping the table, chill. I'm gonna beat this man.
He's like, "You are not leaving with my gear. You are not driving away with my gear in your
Oh,
van."
that scene, I almost cut that one too because he's just like he's waiting for him forever, and
Like,
police like, no, it's
"No, I
good, it's
said
good.
no." It's just like there's nothing he
No,
can do to stop this from happening. He's just like, "No,
yeah,
play."
just goes
Uh,
with it. Like,
oh
yeah,
man, and Kid and Play were both really good. Kid's always
yeah.
really good. They usually make him the star. He's a good actor.
On he
And
really
Pops.
held the
Pops was
film
amazing.
together. Yeah, he held the film together for sure. He was supreme. Yeah,
And
and
Sydney was good.
Robin's
Sydney was
mom.
good.
Yep. Oh yeah, Sydney was amazing. Oh my god,
Yeah.
she was so good. I
Yeah, they're
like.
all likable characters. Like this movie doesn't show any boobs on like Animal House, like I said, and it's way sexier. The girls are just very like cool and sexy. They're dressed cool in '90s. Um, it's
And
awesome.
you know,
Um,
it's not the last time Tisha Campbell and Martin Lawrence worked together. They eventually moved on to the Martin Lawrence show, which was a fun and
okay.
entertaining show during its time. I don't know if anybody watched that, but
I didn't
yeah.
watch that one. I'm aware of it, but I didn't know. All right, so those are the performances we would hold up. The setting aesthetic, awesome.
I
It's
mean, yeah,
colorful, it's bouncing, it's everything that Animal House is not as far as looking at it visually. The shots are interesting, yeah, like that one. Like they're interesting shots. There's a
one
lot of
from the
movement.
clogged toilet that sets play off. Like yeah, it's really
Mhm.
really done lighting. Well done lighting. It's interesting actually too because I kind of like ended up watching the trailer for Boomerang to see um
Mm.
uh Reginald's sort of like difference from this film where it's all
I remember
colorful
Boomerang.
to Boomerang where it's like a lot of white backgrounds, like very like
Mhm.
white and gray backgrounds. It's kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, no, great film, great aesthetic, entertaining very
All
much.
right. Yeah, you got any morsels for us, Murph?
Oh, I got some movie morsels for you. All right, House Party in 1990. The movie was filmed at Play's real life home in Los Angeles, California. Um, During the party at Play's house, all of the dance sequences were done with no music. AJ Johnson choreographed her and Tisha Campbell's routine for the battle. The toe touch and kicks were actually signature moves for Kid and Play. They had become very popular as backup dancers for Salt and Pepper. Using these and more acrobatic stunts, the music was added after the dancing had been shot.
Wow.
House
Yeah, she
Party.
was really good, AJ Johnson.
She was fantastic. House Party was originally offered to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, also known as DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith.
Oh,
This happened
boo.
because,
Kid and Play's
yeah,
better. I always liked Kid and Play better.
this happened because New Line Cinema won a lawsuit against them due to their song "A Nightmare on My Street," and one of the
Yeah,
conditions
I
was that
love
they had
Nightmare
to
on My
appear.
Street.
One of the conditions were that they had to appear in a New Line film. Director Reginald Hudlin refused to cast them in the movie based on that term. So good call,
Uh,
Reginald.
yeah, man.
Um,
I mean, Fresh Prince
but
was a great TV show, but this
yeah,
movie needed to be Kid and Play for sure.
yeah. I kind of want to watch the Bel Air revived version because it's
I don't.
new and dramatic. I want to see what it's about. I want to see. I mean, it's got Will Smith's stamp
You
of
can tell me
approval, but
about it for
oh
25
well, yeah.
seconds.
Fair enough. This
Look,
was the
so does
final
Chris Rock's face as far as that's standpoint.
film.
Anyways.
This was the final film released before the death of Robin Harris. The movie happened to be released 9 days before the legendary comedian had passed away of a heart attack at just the age of
Man,
36 on March 18th,
wow.
1990. House Party 2, which was
He was
released a year
funny.
later in 91, the film is dedicated to him. However, it was not his last one as he appeared in Mo Better Blues in 1990, which was
Oh,
released
yeah. I remember
approximately
Damon
5 months
Wayans.
after he died. Yeah.
No Better Blues, man. I used to
Um,
watch all those
House
Damon Wayans movies.
House Party is considered a cult classic, highlighting the golden age of hip hop music. Sorry, let me say that again. House Party is considered a cult classic, highlighting the golden age of hip hop music when its culture was centered around parties, fun, and parties, fun, and consensual affairs, rather than the drugs, violence, and misogyny that came after its predominance in the early to mid '90s. I
I'm
don't know why I
so
had such
super
trouble saying.
nostalgic for that era of hip hop. I can't even tell you, man. I miss it. I miss it,
It'd
man.
be
It
nice if
was fun.
that kind of resurgence would come back, but
Yeah, I don't see it
sadly,
happening, but
probably won't.
I'm old, but that was my day. That was my hip hop.
The shower
Interesting.
scene in the first act, as well as the use of post credits scene, are references to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of several
Mhm.
classic teen movies that inspired House Party's premise. House Party also
And
opens with a
Porky's is
dream
another.
sequence. House Party opens with a dream sequence, much like Risky Business, an '80s teen film that shares a similar premise of a kid throwing a house party while his parents are out of town. Some of the cast's real age was much older than
Oh,
who
yeah,
the
they're all
characters
30
that
to
were playing.
35. They're all playing
Well,
21-year-old.
Martin Lawrence was 25, Kid was 26, and Play was 28. But they were supposed to be high school students. Robin Harris was only 36 and 10 years older than Kid, who played his son.
My god,
John
he was only
Witherspoon.
36. He looked older
I
than
know,
36. I'm not surprised he kicked the bucket shortly after, man.
dude,
Must
he
have
must have had
had
a
a hard
rough
liver.
diet. Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny though, man. He was funny. Um,
Sorry.
yeah.
My neighbor's like
Back to the
moving
morsels.
the. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by a neighbor. John Witherspoon and BB Drake also played husband and wife in the movie Boomerang, released in '92. Near the end of the movie, Play suggests that they go to his house and watch Crush Groove from 1985 and Beat Street from 1984. Both Paul Anthony and B. Fine were in the former. Last four morsels. Full Force, an American music group of hip hop and R&B singers and producers from Brooklyn, New
Mhm,
York, played the bullies in this movie. Um,
mhm.
Anthony Johnson, who plays the guy with short Jerry curl hair at the party, returned in House Party 3 in '94 as Butcher. In 2022, it was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, deeming it culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Um, and the last morsel, the first three movies in the House Party film series began with the kid's character having a dream of some sort. In this film, he dreams of a party and the roof blowing off of a house. In the Pajama Jam, he has a nightmare
Oh,
about attending
I love that
college.
one.
And in House Party 3, he dreams about his upcoming marriage. House Party 4 and 5 do not continue with the dream sequence. Cinematography was by Peter Deming, edited by Earl Watson, music by Lenny White and Marcus Miller,
Marcus
distributed by New
Miller,
Line
man.
Cinema, distributed by New Line Cinema, New Line Cinema.
Cinnamon
I don't know why it's
cinnamon
cinnamon.
toast.
Releasing date was March 9th, 1990, with a 100-minute runtime. Its budget was $2.5 million, and it was a
100
box
minutes
office
well
of
spent.
$26.4 million. Apparently, I had a bug crawling on my neck. What the fuck?
You're covered in scorpions. Covered in
Apparently.
scorpions.
So yeah, that's House Party from 1990. Those are the movie morsels.
Well, rewatchability. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
easy
I loved
yes.
it as a kid. I
Yes.
watched it 10 times as a kid, and I still love it today. And oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you agree with me too, Murphy. This
Oh
movie
yeah.
is I think, the best party movie. I don't think we'll ever find one because it has the music, it has the dancing, it has likable characters, it has actual humor that's funny. Um, oh man, does it
So
hold up?
y-
Yes,
yes,
to me, it
yes, it
definitely
does.
does. This movie is timeless. It does. I'm super nostalgic for that era of hip hop for sure, but it's just fun, man. Like like you say, it wasn't about misogyny and all this type of stuff that movies before and, hip hop became a bit more after. This was the golden era where people just wanted to go to parties, have fun. Of course, hook up with a pretty lady if you can, but you know, it's this was
It was
wholesome.
it was
This is a wholesome
yeah,
party movie.
it was definitely reflective of the '90s where it was like, you wanted to flex in high school. You definitely wanted to try and find your first girl. You wanted to go to parties and have a good time. It was almost, it wasn't, it's definitely, to further emphasize on your point that it's the perfect party film. Um,
Mhm.
it is essentially the perfect party film. Like, there's no drinking at the party, there's no refreshments because Billy's like, "Oh, I guess they were eating." He didn't bring them, right?
Yeah,
So there's no
he's like, "You
drinking at
should
this
have got here
party.
earlier when we had all kinds of that stuff," and it's just like, "You missed out."
The only guy that is drinking at the party, Groove, gets lambasted and shit on by everybody because they think he's a loser for drinking. Okay, so there's that whole like dare aspect of the film. Um, then there's everybody's like dancing perfectly. Now I don't know. You and I have been to our fair share of kitchen parties in Nova
Oh,
Scotia.
yes. They're
How
famous.
many of how many of those had like choreographer dance breakouts?
Not enough
Come on.
of them. A
Not enough,
handful, maybe.
agree. Okay, you've definitely been to some parties. The few that I've been to, I don't think I've ever witnessed a choreographer dance breakout. I wish there were more, there's
No
been
rap
dance that's
battles,
on my spoke.
no
Yeah,
dance
no
off.
rap
Dance
battles,
off,
no.
sure, but they're not that good.
Yeah, no, they're not nearly as good as that. So yeah,
No.
like those aspects, it's essentially the perfect party movie. And then you have the contrast of Animal House, which is a lampoonish party movie and is outrageous on many, many degrees, from morality to just reality. Uh, we've got House Party, which is just sort of like the Goldilocks of party
It's
films.
just
It's
right.
just
Yeah.
right. Yes.
I feel like
Right.
the Reginald Hudlin watched Animal House and just decided to fix it. He's just like, "Here, you get rid of this, add this. No, make like, no peeping. And if you are peeping, you're gonna get shot at, and you're gonna seem like you're the jerk." Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done,
Yeah.
Reginald Hudlin.
Yeah. And
It does
and
indeed
and
hold
yeah.
up. Check it out, everybody. Is If you're throwing a party, throw it up on the screen, man. House Party. Yeah, the golden age of hip hop. All right. Well, let's move on.